Akron, October 2025. The Doyle family moved $60,000 to their son. Medicaid denied 10 months of care. The check was 4 years old. The clock still counted every dollar. If your parents gave money to family in the last 5 years, that clock is already running. The autopsy shows the loss was never the gift itself. It was not knowing the clock had already started. In the Medicaid files we've reviewed, this one rule catches families who felt completely safe. The council's note, this is not legal advice. Laws vary by state. Open the file on the Doyle family. Margaret Doyle was 71 and living in her own home. In 2021, she gave her son $60,000. He was buying his first house and she wanted to help. It felt like love, not planning. She kept her own savings and never thought about Medicaid. Why would she? She was healthy. Then, 4 years later, a fall changed everything. Margaret needed full-time nursing care she could not afford. The family applied for Medicaid to cover the bills. They assumed an old gift was ancient history. It was not. The caseworker asked for 5 years of bank statements. The $60,000 gift sat right inside the window, and the state counted every cent. Here is what the family misread. The 5-year clock does not start when you give the money away. It starts the day you apply for Medicaid. From that day, the state looks backward 60 months. Every gift and transfer inside that window gets counted. The Doyles gave in 2021 and applied in 2025. 4 years is squarely inside the look-back. The myth sounds reasonable. I gave it years ago, so surely it cannot matter now. But within 5 years of applying, the gift still counts in full. Time alone does not clear it. Only enough time does. So what is the look-back in plain terms? It is a 60-month review of everything you gave away. Medicaid adds up the gifts and the bargain price transfers. Then it sets a penalty, a stretch of months it will not pay. For the Doyles, that gift bought 10 denied months. Why 10? The bigger the gift, the longer the denial runs. During those months, the family paid the nursing home themselves. The gift they gave once, they effectively paid for twice. How those months are calculated is its own story. We opened that file once before on the penalty divisor. Today the question is narrower and more useful. What does the clock actually count? First, know what Medicaid even counts. Your home, within limits, is usually exempt. So is one car and your personal belongings. But cash, investments, and a second property are countable. Give a countable asset away, and the clock sees it. 3 transfers families never picture as transfers. First, money or property handed to a child. A gift is a gift, even when love is behind it. The down payment, the wedding, the quiet bailout, all of it counts. Second, selling something for less than it is worth. Sell a $200,000 home to family for $80,000, and the gap counts. Medicaid treats that discount as a gift. Third, adding a child's name to a deed or a bank account. On paper, half of that asset can read as a transfer. A favor at the bank becomes a penalty at the application.
But the biggest transfer is usually the house. While you are alive, your home is often exempt. Medicaid does not force a sale just to qualify, so families think giving it to the kids early is smart. Here is the catch. Giving the house away is still a transfer. Inside the 5-year window, the whole value counts against you, and the children lose the tax step-up they would have inherited. Keeping the home and planning early usually beats gifting it outright. An irrevocable trust funded years ahead is the cleaner path. We opened that file on estate recovery last time. Now the trap that hurts families the most. A grown child quietly moves a parent's money right before applying. It feels like protecting the family from the nursing home, but moved inside the window, that transfer triggers the penalty. The instinct to act fast is exactly what backfires. The fix is timing, not secrecy. A gift made more than 5 years before care clears the clock completely. A gift made the month before does almost nothing. Same gift, same family, only the calendar changed. Why do families wait until the crisis? Medicaid feels like a problem for some distant year. So the gift, the sale, the favor all happen unplanned. Then a fall or a diagnosis starts the application, and 5 years of history lands on the table. The families who win start the clock on purpose. There is also a line between a gift and a loan. Hand money over with nothing in writing, and Medicaid calls it a gift. But a real loan with a signed note and interest is different. A documented loan is repaid, not given away. The paperwork is the whole difference. There is also a difference between spending and gifting. Spending your own money on yourself is always allowed. Pay down a mortgage, fix the roof, buy a reliable car. That money is gone, but nothing was given away. Gifting moves money to someone else for nothing in return. Only the gift starts the clock. But the small gifts are harmless, surely. Birthday checks, a little help with rent, those cannot count. In the files we've reviewed, small, repeated gifts add up fast. A few $100s a month becomes thousands over 5 years. The caseworker sees the whole pattern in the statements. Not every transfer is a trap. The law protects a few on purpose. A transfer to a spouse does not trigger the penalty. Neither does one to a blind or disabled child. And there is the caregiver-child, one who lived with a parent and provided care for 2 years. That child can sometimes receive the home without a penalty. These exceptions are narrow, and the proof requirements are strict. Before we close this file, one more thing the records showed. The window is federal, but the details are local. Most states look back a full 60 months. California ran a shorter window for years, and its rules keep shifting. Florida protects the homestead strongly, yet gifting that home still counts. New York and Texas each enforce the look-back their own way. The same transfer can be counted in one state and forgiven in another. Where you apply changes the answer.
Take the Whitfield family, 2 states away. They sold the family home to a niece for half its value. It looked like a private deal between relatives, but the discount, $100,000, was a gift to Medicaid. When the grandfather applied, the gap counted against him. A friendly price became a penalty. Now compare them to a family who gave early. They helped their daughter too with a similar amount, but they gave it a full 6 years before any care was needed. They kept a dated record of the transfer. When the mother finally applied, that gift sat outside the window. The state could not touch it. Same generosity, a clean application, no penalty. The only difference was the calendar. And there is one narrow way back. If the gift is returned in full, the penalty can be undone. The state recalculates as if the transfer never happened. Return only part, and in many states, only part of the penalty lifts. It is a lifeline,
but a costly one. Before any application, gather 5 years of records. Bank statements, deed changes, large withdrawals, gifts. The caseworker will ask for all of it. Families who can explain each transfer fare far better. A surprise in the statements is what triggers the denial. So the families who kept their savings did 3 things. First, they gave early, well beyond 5 years before care. Second, they wrote down every transfer, dated and documented. Third, they asked which look-back their own state actually runs. None of it was secret. All of it was early. This is why 5 years is the number that matters. Plan beyond it, and the gifts simply do not count. Plan inside it, and every dollar is on the table. The horizon is long, so the time to start is now. The warning is timing, start to finish. A transfer made too close to applying starts the penalty clock, and nothing signed after the application can undo it. The look-back rewards the families who plan early. Every month you wait shortens your safe window. We track these state look-back rules in the pre-autopsy checklist. The link is in the description, haircouncil.com/checklist. If someone you know is helping a parent, send them this case. Next, we open the file on a gift given in love, the one Medicaid counted against them. The file closes here. Yours doesn't have to open the same way.